Your Excellencies, honorable guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning and welcome to the Ghana Investment Week. My name is Dr. Ashraf Mahata, and it's certainly a pleasure to welcome you this morning. I shall be your MC for this session, and I'm really excited to be a part of this session today that looks at the investment opportunities in Ghana. Now, we have a very exciting and a thrilling set of speakers. We also want to make it very interactive. So there will be a Q&A at the end, but also I'd like to point out that at the end of this event, you will have the opportunity to meet with some of the Ghanaian companies who are here today. So I would urge you at the very start of this to take advantage of the huge opportunities, the wealth of knowledge and experience that will be shared with you this morning, and also the ability to meet with Ghanaian companies and individuals. Your Excellencies and honorable guests, ladies and gentlemen, to begin with today's program, allow me to introduce to you His Excellency Alhaji Ahmad Ramadan, the Ambassador, Ghanaian Embassy to the UAE, for his welcome address. Your Excellency.
Respectful UC Grant, Chief Executive of the Investment Promotion Agency, Lillian Dugatekobi, Consul General of the Republic of Ghana, Mohammed Al-Hamil, Deputy Chief Executive Officer, Dubai Export Promotion Development Establishment, Umar Khan, Director, International Offices, Dubai Chamber, Mr. Paul Boots, Head of Business Development, Dubai Global Connect, eminent business personalities from Ghana and the United Arab Emirates, distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. I have the honor and pleasure to welcome you to today's breakfast roundtable meeting being held at this beautiful venue under the auspices of the Ministry of Trade and Industry of the Republic of Ghana and the Ghana Investment Promotion Center and the Embassy of the Republic of Ghana to the United Arab Emirates. This event, designed to highlight the investment opportunities in Ghana, particularly the agricultural sector, and to demonstrate Ghana's strategic advantages as an entry point for doing business in West Africa and elsewhere on the continent, among others. The recent coming into force of the African Continental Free Trade Area, AFCFTA, provides an effective platform for leveraging Ghana's population, Africa's population of 1.3 billion, with a combined GDP of $3 trillion United States dollars across the 54 member states. This presents a unique opportunity for Africa to increase its engagement with the world through global value chain. Ghana's development narrative in recent times has been characterized by a quest to industrialize with a view to providing decent jobs, especially for our youth, women, and other vulnerable groups. In this regard, the President of the Republic has articulated a new vision of a Ghana beyond aid. This vision seeks to take full advantage of our natural resources and other capabilities to energize our national development agenda. To that extent, Ghana has embarked on a very ambitious and comprehensive 10-point agenda for the industrial transformation. This includes, among other things, a One District, One Factory initiative, through which government is seeking to partner with the private sector to build at least one medium to large-scale factory in each district of the political administrative region of Ghana, with a view to bringing industrialization to the doorsteps of Ghanaians. Secondly, the One Region, One Park initiative seeks to establish in partnership with the private sector dedicated industrial parks and special economic zones in each of the political administrative regions. Thirdly, The implementation of the Planting for Food and Jobs policy, which I believe is very relevant to this event and which would be explained in detail by subsequent speakers. In addition to these, the government of Ghana has adopted digitization as a key economic policy objective. It has recently introduced initiatives such as the Ghana Card Project, digital addressing system, mobile money interoperability, and the universal QR code payment system, which aims at transforming the economy and propelling social inclusiveness through job and wealth creation. The government is therefore building a digital system that creates a cashless economy, enhances domestic revenue mobilization, addresses high interest rates, and provides unique identification numbers for the population. A significant opportunity to be created from these catalytic interventions would certainly guarantee Ghana a place at the global marketplace in the next few years. This is an auspicious time for Ghana and the UAE, having established diplomatic representation at the ambassadorial level in our respective capitals within the last 5 years. The official visit by His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa, President of the Republic of Ghana, to Abu Dhabi in November 2019 is ample testament to the warm, friendly, and growing relationship between our two countries. During this visit, President Akufo-Addo held important discussions with His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan, Crown Prince of Abu Dhabi, and witnessed the signing of 4 memoranda of understanding between Ghana and the UAE on the avoidance of double taxation, cooperation in custom matters, labor migration, and the waiver of entry visa requirements. I believe strongly that this important step by our respective leaders and events such as this one will help Ghana and the UAE to build a long-lasting and mutually beneficial relationship. Ghana is a peaceful, progressive, and stable country with enormous potential in a wide array of sectors, including agriculture and agribusiness. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, you will soon see and hear in detail the opportunities that exist and are being created to make Ghana an even more exciting and profitable investment destination. The government of Ghana is a business-friendly one and seeks to create an economic environment that promotes innovation, enterprise, and protects investment. I therefore invite you, distinguished businessmen and women engaged here, I therefore invite you, distinguished businessmen and women, to engage Ghanaian local government and investment promotion agencies present here, and together explore the various investment and business opportunities available in Ghana for the mutual benefit of our countries and people. I thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you very, very much, Your Excellency. That was a wonderful message. 24 countries in one single platform. I think that's amazing. And also, we know the estimates that by 2030, Africa will have the largest number of middle-class people globally, 200 million people, right? So that gives you the wonderful opportunities, the excitement that the continent is creating. For our next speaker, may I please ask to play the video. Our next speaker is the Honorable Herbert Kwapa, Deputy Minister, International Trade, Minister of Trade and Industry, Ghana, who unfortunately can't be with us today, but he has sent His Excellency made some wonderful points, most notably the fact that the dividend of the new policy is coming through. And I think the dividend of the new policy also serves as a wonderful title to our next presentation, which is Limitless Investment Opportunities in Ghana Agri-Industry Sector. And I call upon Mr. Yofi Grant, CEO of Ghana Investment Promotion Center, to tell us more about the limitless opportunities. Your Excellency.
Thank you. Good morning. Assalamu alaikum. You know, I'm paid to talk. And so if I start, we might not finish. We'll be here for dinner as well. But I was told that I have only 10 minutes to sell Ghana, which is a very tough job, because this is a country that is, in recent times, turned around and is creating a new narrative of Africa rising, a new narrative of a new Africa that is full of opportunity. And so to help me so that I don't have to talk a lot, I put out a video which I think will come on in the next few seconds. That would do have the talking for me, then I can do the other half. Well, the video that you just downloaded. Okay, maybe I'll start talking and then you find it and bring it in. Now, first of all, there are many reasons why, and I beg to recognize all the dignitaries here. There are so many of you who are so important, and so I assume all protocols. So if I don't mention them, I've assumed all the protocols. There are too many important people here. So please pardon me for that. But first of all, I did say that there's a new narrative that is being shaped in Ghana. First of all, Ghana is a country in the center of the world. Many times I've come to Dubai, I've heard people say, oh, Dubai is in the center of the world. And I say, okay, give me the geographical coordinates. Ghana is the only country that is on latitude 0 and longitude 0. So technically speaking, we are the only country that is in the middle. But that is not all of it. Ghana was the first country in sub-Saharan Africa to gain independence and led the path for the political emancipation of the African continent. And almost 60 plus years after, Ghana is repositioning again to drive the financial and economic empowerment of the continent of Africa. Now, why Ghana? There are many reasons why Ghana. And I've mentioned the first one, we are at the center of the world. Secondly, we are very politically stable. And so for the investor, this is a very important requisite, political stability, knowing very well that you can plan for the next 10 years, next 15 years, and you know, you'll be fine. Apart from that, we've also, as the minister just said in the previous video, we've also designed and are implementing very growth aggressive policies that are going to enable us to create opportunities for both investors and local businesses in partnership. And we are leveraging on the SDGs, that is the Sustainable Development Goals, that are there to enable the world, not just Ghana, nor the UAE, but the world to recover better. Some of our policies have enabled us, prior to the pandemic, to be one of the fastest. It's moved from a country that was declining in growth to one of the fastest growing economies in the world. And so between 2017 and 2019, for the 3 years, our average growth rate was 7% per annum. Of course, with the pandemic, things went down a bit, and even though we were hit like almost every economy, we still have positive growth, never mind that it was only 0.4%. In 2021, the projection is that the economy will grow by a minimum of 4.9%. And then in 2022, 5.2%, and an average of 5.1% for the next 2 years. So this shows that an economy that is aggressively pursuing growth. Now we focus on partnerships and linkages in our engagement with foreign entities. But there's one particular important one that we need to recognize being here today. That Ghana recognizes the UAE as a center point of logistics and business and a hub for trade around the Gulf region, but also with Asia and also with Europe and also with the Americas. Ghana wants to position itself for the UAE into an entry point into Africa. population of 1.3 billion people. But by 2050, it's going to grow to become the largest single market in the world. By 2050, the African population will be about 2.6 billion, and it will be 1/4 of the world's population. And the demography is that 60% of that population will be less than 35 years old. That is a market simply waiting to happen. But why still would you have to come there? Because if you look at the past 10 years, the 10 fastest growing economies in the world, 6 of them are from Africa. So that is clearly opportunity staring at all of us in the face. And this is the time that we need to take advantage of that opportunity. I did say that the reason why come Ghana, I said we're in the center of the world, we are politically very stable, but we are also very friendly people. Ghanaians are always smiling for whatever reason. Even when you insult him, you smile at you. And you know, I don't know how you take it, but you still smile. You know, so we are ready, and we are ready to engage. I put together a short presentation on the agri sector because I think that's the main focus here, on agriculture and agri-processing. So can I go to the next page? So our agri sector is mainly crop farming, livestock, fisheries, and forestry like everybody else. And we have approximately 136,000 square kilometers of land, which is about almost approximately 60% of our land mass. Our total land mass is 238,000 kilometers, but 136,000 square kilometers of that is agricultural land. And we have about 58,000, which is about 24% under cultivation. Only 24% under cultivation. So that means that there's a great opportunity for expansion in that sector, and only 11,000 hectares that is irrigated. Now, that is because traditionally we have two regions. We don't have summer, we don't have, in fact, we have summer all year round. We have summer all year round, but it's divided into the wet season and the dry season. And so our irrigation is very good in the dry season. And that is why we do not see a lot of irrigation happening there. But in more recent times, government has actually activated a policy called the One Village, One Dam policy to make sure that we have 365 days of rain or water, which would irrigate our farms, and therefore we can actually optimize production on the farms. And that in itself is a very attractive proposition for anybody who wants to invest in agricultural production. And then of course, our agricultural industry, as I'll put it, or sector, was last year valued at about approximately $14 billion. And then in 2020 contributed approximately 20% to our GDP. So it's critical to us. And once we have a majority of our land mass being agriculture, contributing a lot of it to GDP, it highlights how important it is to us. And that is the reason why we actually have made the good effort at being here at Gulf Foods, because we recognize that it's a very important platform for us, and this is only the beginning. We didn't come with the numbers, but next time when we come, we'll bring half of Ghana into Gulf Foods, so better find space for us. Find space for our business people, find opportunities, because we will take those opportunities, and I'll urge you to also take the opportunity of coming back to Ghana, and I'll tell you why it's very important. So we are the second largest producer of cocoa currently after Cote d'Ivoire, recording some 1.4 million metric tons of cocoa beans, and cocoa is our main agricultural product during the last season. Can we go to the next page? And we have close to 800,000 families engaged in agriculture somehow. Most of them are engaged in crop farming, a bit of livestock and fishing. That constitutes about 30% of the population engaged in agriculture. And in the past, it's been subsistence agriculture, but now we are moving towards industrial agriculture and large-scale agriculture, and we're looking for partnerships to do that. Some of the traditional crops that we've had: cashew, coffee, shea butter, shea nut, rubber, and oil palm. Now, all these are very important substrates or foundations for industrializing agriculture. And we recognize that there is a lot of product that we can get out of these. On the farming side, we also do a lot of millet, a lot of sorghum, soya bean, cocoyam, plantains, rice, cassava, and maize. And more recently, bananas. Next page, please. We do bananas, we do pineapples, we do mango for export. So you see that we're also doing citrus. We have tomatoes, we have aubergines, we have peppers, we have onions, and pineapple. And I'll tell you why it's important to get interested in this. I didn't know till recently, and I wonder if anybody here can answer. Do you know the country that is the leading producer of strawberries in the world?
South Korea?
No. Burkina Faso. Hardly anybody knows this, but Burkina Faso, through aggressive policies and dynamism, has now become the largest producer of strawberries, which traditionally wasn't a fruit of the area. So with us, these are the traditional fruits that are there. And yesterday, walking through Gulf Foods, I noticed a disappointing absence of Ghanaian fruit in the market. And I realized that, well, we are exporting to many countries. We're exporting sweet Cavendish bananas to Belgium, to Europe. We're exporting citrus to the Americas, although they do a lot of citrus themselves. We are exporting cocoa beans to Europe. We are exporting quite a number of these fruits, pineapples, processed and raw, all over to all over the world. But I didn't see it in this market. So one of our aims today is to ensure that we take you from this room straight to Ghana to see what we have and create the partnerships that can make sure that we have the product here. But not only just that, we also want to ensure that we create the partnerships that can bring about global linkages. And we are ready to talk about it and ask you what is it that you want to see in Ghana to make sure that if you come to Ghana, your business will be successful. We are not going to sell ourselves short. We are going to create a mutual opportunity where you make money, we will make money. So that is what the framework is of being here. It's very important for us. On the livestock side, which is where there isn't a lot of development yet, most of it is smallholder farmers. It's geared towards beef and mutton production, but we are looking to engage in significant beef production. And I can tell you, I can announce today that a major investor is looking at a 50,000 hectare ranch to produce cattle, but not just that, but actually to produce milk and dairy products for the European market. And we expect that to be a significant investment, but we are also inviting that you have the opportunity to also leverage that to do a lot more. On the livestock side, like I said, it's mainly cattle, goats, pigs, poultry, and sheep. Additionally, that same company is also trying to establish a major poultry industry in Ghana to also supply birds, both live and processed, to the African sub-region, to the African region, sorry. And as I told you, the Africa population today is 1.3 billion in size. The demand is there. The demand is growing. It's an emerging opportunity that one cannot miss. And this is the time to come to get into that opportunity, because in the future it will become a bit more expensive. But now is the real time, and that is why we're here today, to engage with you and speak about these opportunities. Next slide, please. We also do quite a bit of marine and aquaculture, and there are quite a number of interesting opportunities there. Yesterday I was discussing with one of the people I met about shrimp farming. Ghana is an emerging shrimp farming country on the lake, Volta Lake, which once was the largest man-made lake in the world, and today has become a main substrate or the area for shrimp farming and tilapia farming. And we are hopeful that in the next 5 years we'll become a major shrimp and tilapia exporter in Africa. So we are looking once again for partnerships in that whole opportunity. The opportunity. So what is the real opportunity? There's opportunity in the establishment of agro-processing farms, and just this morning I told somebody that one of the big opportunities that has come out is the manufacture of agri-processing equipment to support an emerging production line. And so there are quite a number of, I know there are quite a number of Turkish companies looking to put up factories to actually do agricultural implements. But there's also a lot of opportunity for agro-processing. There are quite a number of companies now looking at Ghana for processed fruits, some of them dried fruits, some of them just cut fruits. And today as we speak, we actually see Ghanaian products on the shelves of some of the high street shops in England, like Waitrose, like Selfridges. You actually see cut Ghanaian pineapples and cut Ghanaian mangoes on those shelves. To tell you how important it is to us and how profitable it is, I can give you the story of a small British company that established in Ghana called Blue Skies. It started as an exporter of cut mangoes and pineapples. And today it's now become, in less than 10 years, become a global company supplying cut fruit from Ghana. So the opportunity is there, it's important and it's emerging. And we believe that with the partnerships, with the relevant partnerships, we can make this happen. So apart from that, there's also the provision of marketing and distribution services. And that is why Gulf Foods is very important for us. Because today and yesterday, we met quite a number of people who expressed and asked the very important questions. Why Ghana? How do we benefit from it? What are the advantages of Ghana? And I know that Dubai serves as a clearinghouse for a lot of trade. And very often, we have some of the products come through Dubai to go to Europe. And I try to convince them, no, come and establish your processing plant in Ghana, then you can export directly into these markets. But the African market in itself is big enough. We don't have to export anything outside the continent. Now, why is it big enough and why is it important? Why should you look at it? Because today we have the African Continental Free Trade Area. So if you export any processed good from any of the signatories of that, it's tariff-free. That will enable you to optimize your returns on your investment. And in Ghana, we are positioning ourselves as one of the countries that is ready to engage on the industrial front and offer the necessary incentives and partnerships to let it happen. We view the UAE as a strategic partner, just not as a business partner, but as a strategic partner. Because for what UAE does for the region, we want Ghana to do for the African region. And I don't know whether I should say it here, but my very good friend who is at the Dubai South, we signed an MOU late last year, and we are actually sending a team to come to engage, to understudy, and then go back to see how we can emulate the Dubai South investment in Ghana to serve the African continent. And we would invite you, all of you, to be part of that discussion, because we believe that it can happen and it will happen. It will happen. We are very clear that we will develop it and reposition Ghana as a spearhead into the African market. So other investment opportunities, because we are very agricultural, we also have forest land, which is a major investment today. And I'll tell you a funny story. I wanted to go into farming, and I bought this 100-acre piece of land. And so after going through all these agronomics and agriculturists, etc., etc., just last month I had a visitor who came and said, "Oh, how are you doing with your farm?" And I said, "Well, I'm yet to plant." He said, "No, don't plant any crop. Plant trees." I said, "But that's not agriculture, that's forestry." He says, "No, it's agroforestry. And each tree will yield you much more than any crop you can think of." And so it suddenly became an idea in my head that, well, yes. And I didn't even realize that some investors in Ghana are actually farming trees, because the trees are very important for sustainability. And the trees also remove your carbon footprint. And so you can actually sell the tree and also sell the footprints that you've removed. And that's a very interesting business that I think that we should look at as well. Other opportunities, research and agricultural development services, capacity building on standards, training and certification. And I know that there are discussions ongoing with some Emirati companies on establishing phytosanitary and HACCP facilities in Ghana to certify our goods. I know that yesterday we had a good conversation which will enable us use an Emirati company to certify our goods going into Europe. And I think that is a very important conversation that we also need to continue and have. And then, of course, as I said, provision of agri-technology and support services. Can we go to the next slide, please? So, I think in short, this is what I want to put in front of you. For me, is the engagement that matters, and I want to actually excite you to engage. Like I said, the partnership between Ghana and Dubai is not just a trade opportunity, it's a strategic partnership. And we are looking to use what we see in the Emirates and leverage it on in Ghana for the continental development of your trade and service. We want Ghana to be your entry point into Africa. And so we look forward to engaging with you and having a strong discussion on that. So thank you very much. And we're here to listen to you and for you to tell us what you want to see in Ghana to establish in Ghana. And our last point is always to remember that you should grow in Ghana and grow with Ghana. And we look forward to that. Thank you very much.
CEO of Dubai FDI, and we'll be talking about how we can have a strategic partnership between Ghana and how Dubai can be your linkages to the global markets. Fahad.
Good morning, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, friends, Your Excellency, Mr. Ambassador, Brother Yufi. We've been having a long journey together and attracting investment to our beloved countries. And relationship usually goes through collaboration, as Dr. Mahati have mentioned. But we are here for Ghana today. And although we're doing business or investment attraction, but we're focusing on Ghana, so let it be. One of the comments you mentioned, which is Ghanaians being always smiley people. I agree on that, and I agree that they also spread not only smile, but also happiness. Looking at being one of the largest producers of cocoa, and where the world celebrated yesterday Valentine's, you've been contributing a lot to that. As we're saying, Ghana is one of the fastest growing economies in West Africa and is an important trade partner for Dubai and UAE. The non-oil trade between Dubai and Ghana nearly doubled and reached $1.7 billion in 2019. The latest data tells us that the Dubai export and re-export to West Africa have increased. I'll leave that to our export friends, and they will, elaborate on it. But I believe Ghana is almost taking the leading position in that trade with Western Africa. The partnership spans across sectors such as healthcare, manufacturing, logistics, infrastructure, retail, tourism, finance, and agribusiness. Dubai, as a city of the future, is deploying so many technologies to support the fourth industrial revolution and to delivering the city that we all admire for the next phases. Historically, Dubai has held its position as an important gateway to the region and emerging markets as its advanced infrastructure positioned it as a global hub for trade and investment. There is a lot of room for sharing expertise and priority sectors such as housing, construction, manufacturing, technology, tourism, and agriculture, and also agro-processing, as well as healthcare. I'd like to use this opportunity to highlight that food and agriculture business, which is crucial to both our economies, where Dubai food and beverage trade reached $13.9 billion during the 2015-2020 period. The UAE as well was one of the highest performing in the past 5 years in the same region, as we talk about GCC, and will continue to be also among the largest consumer of food per capita in the Gulf region. And also a significantly a producer of so many different food manufacturing and processing. The food and beverage trade with Africa reached, as we said, 13.9 billion during that year of 2015-2020. The sector has been identified as a key factor in driving bilateral trade as a growth region and expanding the urban food and beverage markets opportunities to investors across the world. We see the way forward in creating robust partnership in all sectors, including organic farming, agri-tech, and agribusiness. I'm certain that investors and businessmen in Ghana will find, and producers as well, will find Dubai and UAE as an ideal location and as a base for export, attracting investment, as well as forging many different joint ventures. I'll keep it short and sweet, but not sweeter than your coffee and your people. So thank you very much. I wish you a great day.
You're certainly correct. Part of investment is always exporting. Without exporting, investment doesn't take place, and both of them are highly correlated. And to talk about this, we have Mohammed Al-Kamali, who's the Deputy CEO of Dubai Industries and Exports. Mohammed. Oh, sorry.
Assalamu alaikum, a very good morning. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, it gives me actually a great pleasure to be with you here today. And thanks to the organizer, Mr. Walid, for having us today in this great breakfast roundtable. It's very difficult to speak after those wonderful dignitaries, but I'll try my best to be very practical, to the point, focuses on what we can do together. I think my colleague, His Excellency Mr. Fahad, has mentioned the level of bilateral relations that we have with Ghana. Thanks to Walid, I was able to visit Ghana to see with my eyes how the country is actually prepared for business. If Ghanaians say grow with Ghana, I'll say wait for Ghana. More to come. A lot of opportunities will be there. And when we talk about also the possibilities of the synergies that we can do together, limitless opportunities between us. I think since we are in this wonderful platform, which is Gulf Food, maybe we'll spotlight on our capabilities when it's come to the food sector. We work very closely with the private sector. That's why you see that there is a huge engagement with the food and beverage group here in the United Arab Emirates, specifically with the factories in Dubai. Even if we look at the industrial sector in terms of performance in the first 9 months of 2021, we will see that the manufacturing activities contributed to the GDP by 9.7% compared to 2020. And also our activities when it's come to manufacturing, as a matter of fact, is actually contributing by 3.7%, which actually gave us a very good indicator that this specific sector, which is, or the sectors under the industrial dimension, are doing great in the span of the pandemic. Looking specifically also on the manufacturing sector and food, which contribute approximately to our manufacturing sector almost by 30%. The second largest the second largest sector also, which employs manpower here in Dubai. So I think the opportunities are a lot that we could put together, and I would like Your Excellency, with your permission, to use this opportunity to say that we would like to connect our companies with Ghanaian export, Ghanaian investment promotion. Our companies are ready actually to export. Our companies are ready to come to Ghana and capitalize the opportunities. Maybe we are following your strategy very well, by the way, because we developed also the Dubai Industrial Strategy 2030, which focuses into 6 major sectors. But when it's come to industrial sector with Even His Excellency, when he mentioned about the fourth industrial revolution and the advanced technology, adaptation, things are evolving on a daily basis. So whatever strategy you put, the manufacturing sector is always leapfrogging. So from that angle, we've been following very well your strategy, because we do believe that Ghana is a good center that we need really to push our exporter to in order to access other countries in Africa. We don't want to debate about the location, whether in Ghana or Dubai, but I think that makes it very good connection, or make it a connection very good that we need really to work on. I think connectivity when it's come to seaports are marvelous with the DP World. I mean capability over here. When it's come also to the airline connectivity, Emirates Airlines makes it easier to reach the market over there. So I think with this, we will be more than happy to work together. We will be more than happy to put a specific agenda in collaboration also with our colleagues in Dubai Chamber, and also with the great support of yourself and His Excellency Fahd Al-Gargawi, we will be able to achieve something. We will need to work together. Again, I repeat, wait for Ghana. Thank you so much.
As you said, it's all about collaboration, it's all about looking at industries. And now we actually have Mr. Salah Abdullah Luta, who's the chairman of the UAE Mr. Salah Abdullah Luta, who's the chairman of the Food and Beverage Manufacturers Group, to talk about the sector and how the sector can actually create linkages. Salah.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and good morning everybody. First of all, I really like Walid and the organizers and the Ghana government in setting such gathering. And when I was speaking to the organizer what to speak about, mashallah, after all this wonderful speech from our colleague, he said to speak about the group and what we do as a group, and speak about UAE and Dubai and how we are promoting industry. I said, okay, about the group I can speak, but about Dubai we don't need to speak. About the UAE we don't need to speak. We need people just to walk between the corridors and go see how the exhibition doing this year. I challenge Wallah to see a city have the same energy we have in this city. I think the energy you see in Gulf Food this year is totally different, and this gives us really an advantage to be in this sector. Food sector is one of the most important sector across all the other sectors. And we've felt it, we've lived it in COVID. All of us went through the challenges. So I always see this sector as the most vibrant, interesting, at the same time challenging sector because of the dynamic this sector is going with. So to speak about our group, the Food and Beverage Group, being established now for so many years, our job is really to act as a facilitator between the government and the private sector. What does this mean? Mean that we try to make doing business easier for private sector, locally and internationally, if they want to come and operate in the UAE. At the same time, go over the challenges which any private sector could go through. And I think between Ghana and Dubai and the UAE, we have a lot of similarities, especially after COVID. And I always say, we have to think differently after COVID. I think COVID gives us a very tough stress test for all of us, private and public. And I think we have to learn from all the lessons we went through, how to become agile, how to be proactive, and how to be confident and move forward. And this is what our government have taught us, really, to have the courage to move forward through whatever challenges and try to mitigate whatever risk you have or anticipate whatever risk you might be facing. And the time is going very fast. So this is, I think, what we all have to learn, that we have to learn from the lessons and the way forward, how we will be doing our business. business is not like it used to be at all. Consumer, manufacturing, procedure, processes. And it's a very important message I always repeat. Public and private has to work as one. What this means that we have one KPIs. How can we promote the economy? So I shouldn't be, as a private sector, have different KPI than what the government having as a KPI. Only then we will be able to succeed. Only then we will be able to be ahead of the curve. And this is what we are, alhamdulillah, have in the UAE. I always say that we are having the most dynamic government in the region. And we're really proud of that. Not an easy thing to be achieved, with all the challenges. But I think because of blessing from our God, because of the blessing we're having a leadership who's always pushing us to go forward, able to take challenges, and always encouraging us to do more. But as I said, we do have a lot in common between Ghana and the UAE, and our job is, as they say, connect the dot, not collect the dot. A big difference. It's not about how much are you having. It's about how much you're leveraging the network, the strength of each other, and really build something where we can feel proud of. I will not take long of your time. Thank you very much, and wishing you, inshallah, a great success. Thank you.
And I think to elaborate more on that and also to connect more dots, we have Mr. Omar Khan, Director, International Office from Dubai Chamber. Omar.
Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, first I'd like to say Akwaba, which is the first thing I saw in the Kotaka International Airport when you arrive. So, and it means welcome, and I've never felt that that was ever missing when I deal with people from Ghana. There's definitely a very friendly demeanor when we talk business, when we talk pleasure, when we visit, when we go everywhere, from the youngest to the eldest people we meet, from the taxi driver to the most senior leaders. And again, this is something that's never been absent. My first visit to Ghana was in 2014 when I first took my post. And it's a long time ago now, it's a lifetime ago. And it was, the second African country I visited. You were just beaten by Ethiopia by one day, because it was a back-to-back trip where I had to go see my offices and see the Chamber's offices. And it was definitely very eye-opening. In terms of Ghana, sometimes in my mind, I think of it as the Kenya, the younger brother of Kenya on the western side. But the big difference is, English is widely accepted. The commercial laws are very, very, very advanced. The stability is there, but Ghana is not saturated yet. It's still more vibrant and has more potential for investment. And the other thing is, it is very close to the European Union. It's very much closer to the United States, and of course, it is very close to Nigeria and all the other countries around it. So again, it's a good hub to set up, and this is the feeling I got. And again, I'm trying to speak after many different good speakers, so everybody's doing their own remix of our solidarity message. But I went to see the Tema Free Zone. I went to see agility setting up, and then showing me, of course, agility. I told them, you're like a Starbucks or McDonald's. When you come, they know your name. More smaller companies will come. When DP World comes, when Emirates is there, everything falls into place, and that's very important. So again, we see the opportunity there. We see the re-emergence of agribusiness. Many people, whether it's in Nigeria, Ghana, and many different countries dependent on agriculture, used to think they just want to wear a suit and have a briefcase and be an executive. And it was not cool to be a farmer. But now we see with today's market, the only thing you can't digitize right now, one of the things is food. So they haven't got us there. And this is going to continue to be a challenge for this region. It's amazing because food security is always in our minds. The leadership is still, we've not figured out how to bring the clouds here in the agriculture climate every year, but we're looking at agribusiness, agri-tech innovation, but that means we still want to depend and diversify our reliance
on our partners. And that's excellent for our relationships overall. So what I experienced there is I saw many different businesses that have come to set up. People, for example, have come from Syria, they have set up, and because of the gap in the market and the potential for growth, a Syrian company invested $20 million into steel fabrication. This businessman was invited by his friend in the Tema Free Zone, which had a foundry, and he said, come set up next to me, there's great potential here. And within 3 years, he said, he'd hired 500 employees, and he's taken over 43% of the market share because there was a quality gap that he filled, and he's very happy with the success in the Tema Free Zone. So again, this is something that we in Dubai Chamber are looking to target, because now we've come from one chamber to 3 different chambers. And the Dubai International Chamber's job is now to look at its 280,000 members, see who's mature and ready for internationalization, or can even leapfrog. Instead of going to Abu Dhabi or Saudi, they can even go as far as Africa. They might not know it unless we identify potential markets that they can capitalize on. Now, again, Dubai is an amazing and very vibrant and wealthy comfort zone. So sometimes, because it's a comfort zone, it's hard to get the businesses out there. And so this is why we have to work together to actually update their information. Because if you see, I always say, these phones, they always annoy you with their updates, right? New information, they get updated, they become faster, better, more efficient. Human beings, they don't want to be updated. We are living in the information age, and we are saturated and oversaturated, and a lot of the times with useless information. Not the kind of information a business decision maker can make a decision on in terms of the wealth of his company and his personal wealth and what he can do and who he can partner with. So again, it's our job, and this is our pledge as well as Dubai Chamber, as we have now a big network of international offices all the way from China to Mexico, and that's going to grow and we're going to collaborate with our partners to ensure that any company that connects to Dubai connects to the world, not just in the exhibitions, but all the time. Any company that sets up here can grow their reach. And of course, the same thing where we will market any company that goes and connects to a good partner, a positive partner, such as Ghana. We will make sure that they are successful. We will work with GIPC, one of our earliest partners and longest standing partner, to ensure we document the success, we handhold them, we work with them as well to be honest enough and tough enough to give any feedback about improvements, because it's a win-win situation. When we want, what people always say, make it help me help you. So again, we work with both sides to help get the attractive investment, and the most important thing is documenting the success stories. As Dubai Chamber, as Dubai, we are excellent in marketing, we are excellent in communication, we are excellent in branding and logistics. So again, today everybody knows this thing called FOMO, fear of missing out. So sometimes you tell somebody, come to Ghana, it's an amazing opportunity, they'll say no. But if you say, hey, your neighbor, they just invested, they're doing excellent in Ghana, they will say, why didn't you tell me? And I said, we've been trying. So again, it's very important, even if something happens, if it's not marketed, it's like it didn't happen. So for us, it's important to highlight the best players. Ghana is in the top 10 destinations in Africa. Out of 54 countries, it's in the top 10 for investment. It has a lot of great potential for intra-Africa trade, which is only now 15% to 17%. And there's a few parallel lines of trade. Then there's investment where you would trade from afar, which we do very well between Africa and the UAE. We've reached almost 50 billion US dollars. It's a record number in pandemic years. But with the intra-Africa agreement going into effect, it's going to become more and more attractive for nations to trade amongst each other. They have everything. They have education, they have the mineral resources, they have oil, gas, land, rainfall, you name it. So it's just a matter of time. And as Dubai, we want to help our businesses plant their seeds now. Even while they continue to improve and expand on trade, they'll always look towards planting the seeds to have manufacturing hubs, centers, whether they're targeting the EU, US, or intra-Africa trade. So again, this is what I want to leave you with, but also when it comes to trade, when it comes to investment, there are always gaps in the system. So utilize Dubai's 270,000 members. If you're looking for experts in the digital economy, if you're looking at experts in marketing, if you're looking at experts in education, and all of these different soft skills, and even consultants in terms of the the ease of doing business, removing trade barriers. We have a lot of wealth. We've built a lot of infrastructure. We've started where many of our brothers and sisters in Africa have started. We've started as a fishing village, and we've taken the income from our commodity and slowly, step by step, over the 50, 60 years, we have built the infrastructure and the capabilities. So we're just fresh out of that, and we're still ongoing. So again, this is something where we, as we mature in our infrastructure, these suppliers and vendors are looking for new homes, and Africa can be a great home, and especially Ghana. So thank you once again, and I look forward to working with you and our team to get all these success stories and increasing the membership from plus 20,000 to 30 and 40,000 in the next few years. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Umar, for that extremely energetic talk. I think it's wonderful. Now, it's great that you actually have all these offices in our country next to you. It will actually be an opportunity for you to meet Ghanaian companies. And also, I also think the Ghanaian companies should come and meet Dubai companies. There is a lot of synergy. There's a lot of room to expand. But just to point out to Omar, I gave a talk last week on the 4th Industrial Revolution, and you can actually do 3D printing of food. Right?
Is it as delicious as...
It won't get me to this size, no.
So we have some time.
We have some time. But anyway, it's getting there. Our final speaker, before we go to the question and answer session, is Paul Boots, Head of Business Development at Dubai Global Connect. Paul.
Morning, everyone. I'm very happy to be here today and to showcase something to you that is an investment that Dubai is doing to connect different markets. So to also help Ghanaian businesses to actually go global. And I've started my presentation with a short video to kind of explain the concept, and I'll go into a little bit more detail.
Great products come from all corners of the world. We go out of our way to find the best materials, flavors, and designs. But as much as we love to travel, it's not easy at the best of times. And as circumstances change, we need to adapt. So instead of traveling the world, why not meet halfway? Dubai Global Connect is a wholesale market that brings together buyers and sellers with great goods from all over the world, all year round in one central location for safe and easy trade. Dubai Global Connect, where the world comes to trade.
Where the world comes to trade and meeting halfway. Meeting halfway in trade, meeting halfway in a physical location. And yes, Ghana is the center of the world, but we are here building on Dubai's geographical location and connectivity to help companies meet here, do business here for international growth. This is an initiative and an investment by the Investment Corporation of Dubai, which is the Sovereign Wealth Fund. And it's an investment that we are doing to really kind of build upon the portfolio that the Investment Corporation of Dubai already has, but also definitely build on the core strength of Dubai, which was built on trade, not on oil. And I think to what Omar was saying earlier. We use our commodity to actually invest into infrastructure that helps us become a player on a global market. Now, what is Dubai Global Connect? Dubai Global Connect is what we're calling a wholesale market. And a wholesale market is a place where businesses can come together. It's a physical place. It's where products are showcased all year round, and where buyers and sellers from around the world can come together to meet, to sample products, and to do deals. The business model of this, which I always like to explain a bit because I talk about a physical market, and I talk about this space where companies can set up a showroom, almost like what we're seeing today of Gulf Food, a permanent version of Gulf Food for the food industry. Companies, brands, they need ways to meet their customers, they need ways to showcase what they're doing, to have tastings, to showcase product mixes and so on. And that's the place that we are building, where companies at a very reasonable and low cost can set up a showroom for their brand and for their business, where they can meet their customers and where we will bring them additional customers and buyers from around the world. Now, how do we do that? And that is what the other side of the slide shows you. We will organize throughout the year temporary exhibitions, conferences, meetings, any kind of reason to bring buyers to this market throughout the year, to connect the companies that are our tenants, that have their showrooms and their companies there, with the buyers that are coming from around the world. And it's important to mention here, we are building this as a global center. We're looking to connect Europe with Africa and Asia in Dubai and through Dubai. In addition to these temporary exhibitions and shows, we supplement this platform also with a digital platform, because international trade is not efficient if we don't use the tools that are available to us. So while a lot of the products that are being sold still need to be touched and people need to meet to identify what they want to trade, the digital platform just creates additional efficiencies so that companies can trade all year round in the right way. We support all of that by a trade ecosystem that we don't all supply and build ourselves. We are building on what all of my colleagues who have spoken here today and on what Dubai has already built. And we are bringing together all these different initiatives, all these different service providers to help companies that are making the choice to use Dubai as their global, international hub to make it as easy as possible for them. Because it can be scary to go outside of your home country and build a new business and go to new markets. We are here to hold your hand to help you do that. Why are we doing this? This all started, as I said, with the geographical location of Dubai and the ability for companies to really reach billions of potential customers from one place. We are building on top of what Emirates has done from a connectivity point of view. And we feel that we have a unique role to play. There is not a lot of agricultural production in Dubai. As Omar said, we don't have the clouds that can help us grow this. However, that means that we can play a truly independent role of bringing producers from around the world together with buyers from around the world. Without a pure nationalistic ambition there, it's really a meeting place that is a neutral place for companies and people to meet. We focus on 3 industries. Today I'm focusing mostly on the food, because we are at Gulf Food today. But we also will build this market for fashion and for furniture companies. And the size of this market is significant, but it needs to be. Because we want to become a place of reference in the world for companies in those industries to come together. So if we do not have enough companies, if we do not have enough variety and enough countries represented, there's no reason for buyers to travel to Dubai. That's why this is a significantly large market, and in its full completion will be 1 million square meters of trade infrastructure. This is what phase 1 looks like, and I will go through this very quickly, but you see at the core of it are these big exhibition buildings, if you will. These buildings are efficient, they are easy to use from a seller point of view, and they will have structures permanently built in there that companies can put their showcases into. And then it's supported by a little bit of warehousing space, even though we are in the logistics district in Dubai South, where we have all the large logistics providers from around the world in our backyard. We are providing small logistics infrastructure, and most importantly, we're providing office space, and we're providing an innovation hub and auditorium where we can do all these events that I talked about earlier. So really what we're building is a city of trade. We're bringing businesses together, we're bringing people together all year round. Where is this located? It's located actually, and I hope all of you have visited already the Expo 2020, or will visit while you are in town, but it's very close to the Expo site. So it's in the Dubai South area, just across from Jebel Ali Port, very close to the Al Maktoum Airport, with great infrastructure around us, outside of town, because this will be a destination for buyers to come to, and we feel this was the perfect location to put this. Last but not least, but I think it's been mentioned a lot of times before already, Dubai is a great place to do business. We are welcoming, the infrastructure is here, the connectivity is here, and we look forward to working with companies, from Ghana to help them create a window to the world where they can access all these markets and buyers from those markets and expand globally. Thank you very much.
Now we have an interactive session where Mr. Kofi and His Excellency the Ambassador will take questions from the audience. So if you have any questions, please raise your hand and Mr. Kofi and His Excellency the Ambassador will be happy to take them. Yes.
On what Omar just said, it's always a pleasure to listen to you, Omar. Omar mentioned that, you know, Ghana has a lot to learn from Dubai because Dubai started as a fishing village way back, 30, 40 years back. And I wanted to elaborate on that point. I think there's an elephant in the room that we are not discussing. I mean, Ghana has relied on its cocoa exports and agro products. And the problem with that is, like you see, any economy that is dependent on natural resources goes through ups and downs as the demand and supply goes up. What Dubai did was diversified its economy through trade and tourism. And I feel tourism is the elephant in the house here, which is conspicuous by its absence. And a lot of people are looking at investment opportunities in the tourism sector in Africa. And I think, I would like to have your comments on that.
History tells us that resource-rich countries usually do not do very well. But the good thing about it is, since 2017, there's been a new view of the Ghanaian economy to diversify from cocoa, gold, and raw materials. In fact, the President's view is that Ghana should stop exporting its raw materials unless necessary and add value in situ, that means in the country, for export, because that would do better. And it's a view that is resonating more and more in Africa. And yes, tourism is the low-hanging fruit. You are absolutely right. Ghana is rich in ecotourism because of its diverse environment. You can find almost the arid and the Sahelian areas to the very tropical down south. And it creates a very important tourism potential. There's also historical tourism. We have 540 kilometers of pristine beaches, which are now opportunities for development. So yes, you are right. But the government is now diversifying strongly into value addition and industry with a policy called the One Village, One District, One Factory policy, which is a very simple thing. That says that in each of the 260 districts in Ghana, there must be at least one manufacturing facility, at least, that leverages on the raw materials of the area. And so, having said that, we are aggressively pursuing that. Just from that policy alone, over 132 new factories just came up in a couple of years, and we are looking to multiply that in huge numbers. So, yes, that is one of the major attractions of Ghana, that we are moving away from just exporting raw materials into value addition. And in doing so, we seek partnerships that are mutually beneficial.
Thank you. Is anybody waiting, is it?
No, but you've got a program.
I see. So you're talking about partnerships. Let me tell you a little bit about what we've been doing for the last 32 years in Dubai. I am the CEO of Africa Business Pages, and we have a B2B portal that we've been running since the last 32 years. And we'll be happy to partner with you, for B2B connections.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you. And again, I'd like to agree to...
My name is Jasram, Vice President of Sudanese Business Council, and a businessman as well, Your Excellency. Well, we took the step of going and investing in Ghana a few years back, actually, through one of our members. I would like to talk about the negative things, because unless we spoke about those, then we are facing problems. One of the beautiful things happens in Dubai, that while people are promoting business and things like this, they are improving judiciary system as an example, and other sectors, because all those things will meet somewhere. Unfortunately, we have a case in the Ghanaian court since 2020 until today. No time has been fixed for looking at our appeal. And this means, and we had gold which was confiscated through one legal department. I don't know, His Excellency knows about this very well. Unfortunately, there is no department we can follow with problems we face as investors. We have been in touch with the embassy, we tried reaching the consulate, departments over there, but unfortunately we are moving in loops. And obviously this will stop me from investing more or encouraging others to go and invest over there. So please look at those points because they are very important. Otherwise, those beautiful things which has been shown here will go down the drain with small things. Thank you very much, and I hope you all the best. Ghana is a great place, no doubt. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Good. I don't know anywhere in the world where there haven't been problems. Everywhere, from California right down to Africa, to South Africa. And so there's always a problem with gold. My experience, though, and maybe the reason why your problem hasn't been solved is you didn't come to the Ghana Investment Promotion Center. We have a very active aftercare service that actually goes right to the root of the problem and is able to resolve them. Luckily, I report to the president. So when there's a very critical case that I think has very serious implications, it goes that far. But I'll also tell you my experience, and your case will not be the first, is that a lot of people come to Ghana because it's a gold producing company and go and do, I mean, they don't normally pass with the formal, because they don't know. They don't buy it from the formal market, and they probably go through private agents who sometimes swindle them and do all sorts of funny tricks. And I'm aware of such cases. Okay. Yes, I hope that's not your case. But we see quite a lot of that. And recently I've been involved in 3 such cases. And it happened, unfortunately, for the buyer who had very good intentions. He bought gold from an illegal mining enterprise. Quite a lot of gold from an illegal mining enterprise. And so the gold was seized, and they are trying to resolve it now, and I think now there's a faster mechanism to resolve it. So I'll be happy to hear about your case with the His Excellency Hotel. And then we'll take it up and see how we can resolve it, because yes, it's important.
I think Mr. Kofi and His Excellency will also be here. I think that deserves a round of applause. Thank you. Mr. Kofi, if you would stay, and also Your Excellency, for the second, we have another MOU signing. We now also have an MOU signing between the Ghana Investment Promotion Center, represented by Mr. Yofi Grant, and the Food and Beverage Manufacturing Business Group, headed by Mr. Salah Abdullah Luta.
You know what happened? 10 people sitting there wearing a mask. You don't know who's signing, who's not. Senator Abdullah, we also want a visit to Ghana. For the coming.
Okay, I think that also deserves a round of applause.
Mr. Yofi, already Mr. Kamali said that on October you want to take a delegation.
Oh yes, we are very ready, and we will be very welcome.
And they say we give a invitation.
You have a right.
On the 8th and the 9th, the President is coming.
Yes.
I think if you extend the invitation to His Excellency,
We will.
I think in front is better.
Thank you. Thank you. And with this, it brings us to the end of this morning's proceedings. But again, I'd like to reiterate, we have Ghanaian companies. Please take the opportunity to meet with them. We also have the panelists. Please meet with them. Thank you. Thank you.